For the past 72 hours, I've tried to make some sense of the tragic shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. I work at a school. My students, my staff, this community are shaken to our cores. People want to know, what are our plans? What actions will we take to prevent this in our school, our community? That thinking goes something like this. If we can understand what happened, we can prevent what happened. Where I have come to in my jumbled thoughts and emotions on this most significant matter is this senseless, horrific, and violent act of carnage cannot be understood. Good, decent people like you simply do not have the capacity to make sense of what happened at Sandy Hook. Listening to the heroic acts of the teachers and first responders, I've been reminded that we have a limitless capacity to love, to help, and to comfort. Every single time humanity is devastated by natural disasters, evil despots, mentally ill fanatics, people always respond immediately with support, compassion, and resolve. It is certainly in our nature to seek to understand, for it is through this understanding that we learn and grow and evolve. But it is also through uncertainty and urgency, and yes, senseless violent acts, that our character is forged. In light of the unthinkable horror that violated a school, a community, and a nation, it is certainly natural to feel unsettled, to want assurances. Aren't schools supposed to be safe zones? Whatever may happen outside the schoolhouse gates, our kids should be physically, socially, and emotionally safe inside those gates. And yet we have once again been brutally reminded that training and state-of-the-art security features cannot deter a disturbed individual with the darkest intent. But that should never be our focus. Focusing on the horror can lead us to deep despair and dark rage. What our students need to see and need to hold on to and need to feel is this. In the midst of this unthinkable horror, adults sacrifice themselves to protect their kids. Teachers hid kids in closets and behind locked doors. They whispered positive thoughts because they wanted their kids to focus on something good and hopeful rather than on the gunfire. And help came. It came swiftly and it came in droves. It continues to come. Because regardless of the scope of the disaster, whether it be natural or unnatural, there will always be helpers to meet those in need. While I want to assure you that we will redevote time and attention to review and communicate all of our safety and security protocols and procedures, I can offer no understanding of such unthinkable and unnatural violence. Do I need to close the schoolhouse gates and lock every single one? Make sure all of the doors are locked throughout the day and have a knock to get into classrooms? If that's what we need to do, we're going to do that. Seek different locks on our doors, seek different protocols, have drills every single month? Absolutely, if that's what it'll take, we're going to do that. But I know something else. Granite Bay High School is filled with helpers and heroes. Counselors, teachers, the school resource officer, the nurse and psychologist will always be here to provide their fullest measure of protection and support, even when we are reminded that we cannot promise immunity. I am uplifted and proud that so many of Granite Bay's helpers and heroes are our very own students. Many of our parents have responded immediately, time and again, in our own heart-wrenching times of need. And of course, our multi-denominational faith community are always first responders. That is the message I want to leave with you. Relentless searching for answers for the unfathomable can lead to debilitating anxiety and deep depression. We absolutely must reject any notion that fear for our safety is the new normal. Knowing that our school and our community and our nation are filled with helpers, filled with first responders, and countless souls who will never leave a fellow human being in time of need, affirms the inherent goodness of humanity, the preciousness of life, and offers us all a full measure of light and hope, no matter how dark the occasion. We can face anything when we remember we are not alone. We will never be alone.